Hi! So I am someone who has bleached their hair a lot, as you can probably see, and despite me looking after it well, the sheer amount of bleaching I've done has kind of destroyed it. I'm gonna try and grow out my roots for as long as I can. And I'm a little bit worried about missing the bright colours that I normally dye my lighter hair. So with that in mind, I went on to lushwigs.com, I think that's the site, and I looked through their wigs, and they're not overly expensive, but for a first time wig I wanted to try out something a little bit cheaper, so I went with their deal called Lucky Dip Wigs, which is where you basically pay £10 plus shipping and you get a completely random wig shipped to you, which seems like a pretty good deal considering most of their wigs I wouldn't have no problem with receiving, except for one, which I feel like I've probably got. That was the very, very reduced, cheapest one they had on sale, where everyone, when I looked on the Instagram tag for this Lucky Dip Wigs, who got this one was like, what the fuck? So I have received this package today. I was surprised by how small it is, and frankly that is further worrying me that this is going to be the wig I didn't want because it's tiny. But I've resisted opening this so far today, so now I'm going to unbag it on camera so you can see the possible horror on my face firsthand, and then I'm going to review it as well based on my very limited knowledge of wigs that I've garnered from watching YouTube videos. So this doesn't look like it should be too hard to get into, although I don't have a good history of getting into packages in my videos. But I think even I've managed this one, so... It's purple! Yay! Oh my god, it's not the one I didn't want! I'm happy about this. I want to see what length it is, because this was one of the things that I wanted to look into getting a wig for, because I would like to give my hair a little bit more length and a lot more volume, because a lot of it's fallen out because of my constant bleaching. It's a lot thinner than it is naturally. It comes like this in, I mean, it's not amazingly packaged, I've got to be honest. I'm hoping it's not going to be too knotty because I hear that they can molt a lot when you try and brush them out. It's quite short. I cannot figure out where this begins and ends. I think this is a bit of a fringe here, which I did want. Oh, here we go. Oh, look! Yes! Yeah, so it's definitely not a lace front one, which is not really surprising when you're paying a tenner for it. But it's got a fringe, which is exactly what I wanted if I wasn't going to get a lace front one, because it just means you don't really need a lace front one if you've got a fringe, because the front is covered up anyway. It's actually not too tangled. It's got the label in here, which I think this thing has become attached to, so I'm just gonna sort this out one sec. So I've just given the wig a little brush with this big wide tooth for wet hair comb that I have, because I don't own a wig comb, so I thought this would be the next best thing. And I have to say, it was incredibly easy to brush, and I honestly don't think a single hair fell out of this. I was a bit worried about the molting based on some of the reviews I'd seen for some of the wigs, but this has not molted at all so far, so fingers crossed it doesn't when I put it on and try and brush it out again. But I am very impressed so far. I think the hair quality, the look of the hair is actually pretty damn realistic. I mean, I'm a little bit biased that to me it looks super shiny all the way down, so I'm like, is real hair like that? But I think some people's real hair is, it's just that mine is so trashed. This is just what healthy hair looks like, which is a new thing to me. So if I can show you this without completely tangling it again, this is what the inside of the wig looks like. And they have these things which I thought were really clever when I saw them on the website. They have little adjustable straps so you can adjust the size of the wig cap to your head, which I think is a very good idea, because if I'd have received this lovely wig and it had been too small to fit on my head, then I would have been a little bit disappointed. Oh, straight black hair is so not my look. I've promise it's not greasy though, it is just dark roots on light hair. But this is as well as I've managed to scrape my hair back to put this on, and here goes nothing. I've put the adjustable things somewhere in the middle of how tight and loose they can go, just as a starting point so I can adjust them if I need to. I'm not sure how to go about putting this on. I don't think this is going to be glamorous. I can't see! Okay, so I just turned around long enough to adjust this so I could actually see out from under it in my mirror, and I don't think that's just an issue with how I put it on. It is, if I pull this back, I have to have it beyond my hairline for the fringe to not be completely blocking my eyes. And I did see some other people mention this about different wigs on the site, saying the fringes do come very long. But I guess that means that they can work for anyone and you can just trim it if your forehead is not that large. I have to say, at this point, I don't think many people would be mistaking this for my natural hair. This is very much like a party piece wig right now. I'm gonna try and straighten the fringe a bit on a low temperature, see if that makes it any more believable looking, because at the minute it's making this top part of my head look rather large. I don't know if that's just because I'm not used to having volume in my hair, but I think the fringe is kind of giving it away, which is odd because I thought the fringe would make them look more natural. I've been messing with this for about half an hour now. It says on their website, even though these are synthetic wigs, that you can straighten them at your own risk on the lowest setting that your hair straightener does, which sounds like for most people it's 160, but I have just straightened this a little and sorted out the fringe with the straighteners on my straightener's lowest setting, which is 150 degrees, and it's actually fared incredibly well. I didn't see it frizz out or anything, and it's done a nice job straightening it. It is very easily pliable with straighteners at that temperature. I've also thrown a load of talcum powder on this to try and get rid of the synthetic wig shine, which I think has been quite successful. I think I'm actually going to take this with me to the hairdressers next time I go, as weird as that sounds, because at the minute it's fine like this, but if I tuck my hair behind my ear or anything, which I do all the time subconsciously, then you can see my natural hair there. I found it really funny with wigs, first time wig user, that what I normally try and do with my own natural hair is exactly the opposite of what I tried to do with this. So with my natural hair, I'm trying to give it more volume, make it more shiny and make it more smooth. With this, I'm trying to give it less volume, so it looks less bumpy on the top of my head and more like it could be natural hair. I'm trying to make it less shiny by adding a load of talcum powder on it to mattify it. I'm trying to make it less smooth so it looks a little bit more natural, so I'm kind of zhuzhing it up like this to get bits to stick out so it looks possibly like real hair. I'm not sure if it does look like real hair at this point and I'm just not used to having this hair at all and it's such a big change it looks like a wig to me, or if it would completely not pass as a wig outside. I'm gonna see what my family and friends' reaction is to it first before I dare to wear it outside and try and pass it off as real hair. Might try it with a hat. That seems to be the tried and tested method for hiding wigs. But overall, quality-wise, colour-wise, the ability to straighten it, which I was really surprised about because I thought most synthetic wigs would just frizz out like synthetic extensions I've had before, if you even put so much as like a hairdryer on them. And the fact that it's mattified, I was also really impressed that I can feel the bump of where I put my hair in a bun at the back of my head, but I don't think you can see it at all. I'll show you what the back looks like. Yeah, there's like no bump here. Even though I can feel there's one, it doesn't look like there's one, which I was very happy about because I was expecting to get my like 2 mirror tricks to see the back of my head going on and to be like, how am I going to hide that? But there was no problem, so that's great. So in conclusion, I am very happy with this wig. I'm extremely happy it was not the tiny brown one that I thought it was going to be. I'm happy with the quality, I'm happy with the way the wig cap is adjustable, and it seems to fit pretty well. The fringe is a little bit long. It's much better than making it too short because it can be adjusted and just cut. I'm very impressed by the fact it can be straightened. It's nice and thick without being over the top kind of drag queen wig thick, which is not the look I'm going for, so I'm very happy about this. You can style it. I've tried putting it into a braid and it's fairly shiny, so it does slip out a bit, but you can tie it up and it will stay there mostly. For me, the overall style of the wig is something I really like and something that I would definitely wear my hair like this colour, choppiness, length and the fringe. I'm not entirely sure if full fringes are really my thing, but I've been considering getting a short fringe like this chopped in for ages. And so now I get to see what it looks like without having to wait for months and months for it to grow out if I'd have decided I didn't like it. I would definitely recommend to anyone trying out a Lucky Dip wig off Lush. I think it's a really cheap, great idea. And if you're anything like me and you love waiting around for online orders, it's brilliant because it's like a surprise present from you to you. If you like this video, then please feel very free to like and subscribe and maybe leave a comment if you've ever tried out Lush Wigs, what you thought of it. What do you think of this wig, or what you think of any other wigs you've tried out, if there's any you recommend. And hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!